Okay, Team Kepnock, let's have a look at Flash again. I'm in Flash. I'm going to create a new one, ActionScript 3. And just remember, if your interface or what you're looking at isn't the same as mine, you can change it up here. So I'm in Classic, but I could be in Animator, I could be in Designer. Doesn't make any difference. All these windows can be moved around. You can put them in wherever you want. If you go wrong, you can just say reset my workspace and it'll put it back for you. I'm working in Classic at the moment, okay? So if you change yours to Classic, it'll be the same as mine. So first thing we want to do, just like last time, is we want to tell this window here to fit it in the window, and this will give us as much space as we need. You can always come and shrink some of these other things down that you don't think you need, or you can, even if you don't want it, you can pull it completely out and get rid of it and give yourself some more space. Okay, last time we were doing frame by frame, and I just want to show you a couple of cheat ways that we can animate. So the first thing I'm going to do this time is I'm going to talk about rule number one. Rule number one is, if it doesn't move, it goes in the background. So I'm going to double click on my layer 1 here, and I'm going to call it background. It's always good to name your layers. And then I'm going to draw a background, and remember my rule, everything in the background doesn't move. So I might draw some hills. And then I want to use the fill tool, and to use the fill tool, if I just go and grab the bucket now and I try and use it, let's say I want to get some green on those hills, it's not going to work, and that's because I need a container to fill. If I go and get a rectangle now and I tell that rectangle not to have a fill color, so it's just going to make a plain outline for me, that's given me a container. And now my fill tool should work. So when I go now and say let's get some green, let's use the fill tool, it works, but it went too far. It went all over for me. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to go Command Z and undo it. There's a tiny gap there. So down here in my options, I can say close large gaps, and now it works perfect. I'm going to get a nice sky color, and I could put anything else I want in this background, remembering the rule, it doesn't move because it's going in the background, so it's not going to move. So I could put trees, a house, I could put a road, anything I want, okay? So the next thing is I'm going to lock it. Once it's locked, that means if I go and try and start rubbing out, or I go and try and draw on it, it's not going to let me because that layer is locked. Now I'm going to make a new layer here with this little curved bit of paper here, new layer, and now I can put something on there that I want it to move, I want it to animate. Okay, so let's say you spend some time and you draw something cool, like my cool car here. For the sort of animation that I want to do next, there's something special that you need to do. There's a special thing you need to do. You need to highlight the thing that you've just made, and you need to go Command G for group, and you need to get this blue rectangle around it. We really want that. Once you've done that, you can shrink it down, make it whatever size you want it to be. So I can make mine nice and small, and it's got the blue rectangle. So when I click it, it all gets selected and it's in a group. Okay? So now, how we did it before is we would just go F6, we'd put our onion skin on, and we would move our car a little bit. F6, I would move it over, and I would have to do that frame by frame. Okay? Now that would work, but I'm going to show you a way better way to do it. So I'm going to undo that. If I just want a simple animation where my car moves and it doesn't have to change shape, it's not going to blow up or smash into anything, it's just going to cruise along, there's a really simple way to do it, and it goes like this. I'll turn the onion skin off. I've got a start point on frame 1. I'm going to cruise down here to, let's say, frame 65, and I'm going to make an end point. So I'm going to go F6, but what you notice is it didn't bring the background with it. So there's a couple of ways you can do it, so I'll just undo that. The easy way to do it is just to highlight both of those frames. So I get the background and layer 2, which I should rename to call it car. So I'm going to come down here, let's say to frame 65, and I'm going to press F6 for both of them. And so now I get the car layer and the background together. Now I'm going to grab this car and I'm going to say I want you to finish over there. So let's have a look. Starts here, finishes over there. I come into the middle between them, which is where the tween comes from, and I right click and I want to create a classic tween. And my classic motion tween, on yours it might be called a MotionTween, and my classic MotionTween does all the work for me and makes my car drive. So when I test my movie, which is command return, my car drives straight away, and the computer has done all the work for me.